What's going on? Hi. What's going on, Lori? What's up, NY Greek? What's up, Delaware Tom? It's been a bit dreary here, like as in the weather. Well, in America, it has been disgusting all around. So, please sit at the bench with me. All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome to All Signs. We're going to be taking a look at the rest of June for all of the placements. So whether you're a sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, I don't care. It really doesn't matter. You can check any of your placements and yeah, see what you get. If you guys do want to book a super chat question this evening, then you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can book a super chat to get read live right here on this stream. If you want to get a discount, so if you want to get 15% off, then you can go ahead and book before 7 p.m. EST, which is within the next 30 minutes. What's up, Dominic? Tom, I'm doing really, really well. Yeah, thanks. I really did not want to go live on Friday. I just like, you know what? It just really got to a point for me where it was an oversaturation of exhausting information about just more and more horrendous crap that's going on in the world. And I got really tired of like pretending that it didn't exist. And so I was like, this is so weird to like go live and like read tarot and pretend like shit doesn't happen. Just very awkward for me. So I kind of just, I don't want to say I got it out of my system, but I took my little break. I wrote my stories and here we are. Okay. Also, I want to tell you guys, make sure that you unsubscribe and resubscribe because it has been not notifying people. So if you just scroll down on your phone or whatever it is that you're on and you just hit unsub and then you resubscribe, it should be able to fix that problem. So just an FYI for all of you. Pretend that the world is not in the toilet. Right. And I'm just trying to sit on the edge, not trying to fall down in the little swirly hole that we are headed in. Right? Where's the Constitution? Is the Constitution in the room with us? Fuck. What's up, alien? I'm doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good. As good as I can in these trying times. Had to watch a legal 4-year-old girl with cancer get deported the other day, so that was fun. But America, am I right, guys? Alrighty. So, yeah, without further ado, once again, guys, welcome to All Signs. Welcome. I hope that you guys are having a great start to your week so far. We're going to be taking a look at what's going on for the rest of June for you. If you would like to book a super chat question, you are more than welcome to visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And you can go ahead and book there. If you want to get 15% off, then you can book before 7 p.m. EST. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it, shall we? Alrighty. Let me actually change this music. This music is so depressing. So depressing. All right, there we go. Cool. One of my favorite songs right now, if you guys listen to it, is I don't know. It's by Peter. I don't know. It's called Violin Sky, Light in the Dark. So good. I am like, it's not like it doesn't have words, okay? But if you guys ever like just need to just gut yourself, that is it right there. Okay, check it out. I have on my writing page where dead flowers bloom, I have a playlist that's called I Tried to Dig Up the Dead Things, and that's one of them that's on it, and I just oh god, the cinematic emotional distress in that song with this dude, it's so good. It's like the song that you hear in, like, Vikings, right? When you've won and you're standing at the edge of a cliff, okay? And, like, you've won, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? It's so fucking good. You'll get it when you hear it. What's going on, Vanessa? I don't know what I said. Yeah, Lori, that works just fine. All right, so without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and do it. Make sure that you guys unsubscribe and resubscribe. Just go ahead and do that right now. Hit the little bell notification so that way you guys get notified. Some people aren't getting notified when I go live, so just make sure that you guys just unsub and resub. Sometimes YouTube glitches out like that. So anyway, without further ado, thank you guys so much. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm feeling frisky today. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to try and just keep my political opinions to myself. It's very difficult these days. Okay. Although I will say, Gavin Newsom, I know he has a wife. Okay, this is just commentary. Have you seen the governor of California? I fear I've wet my pants. Woo! And that is a Virgo stellium man. I just there are no words. Just wow. So, amen to that. But what's up, meow? You always get notified. I love that. Good. What's up, Donna? Everyone hide. Only the weak will hide. His wife is pretty hot too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, you guys looking for a friend? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at Aries for the rest of June. Okay. All right, let's see. What do we have, Aries? I hope you guys have been good boys and good girls. 10 of Cups reverse. Some of you are going through a breakup. Okay, just gonna be totally 100% honest with you. Wow. The Tower. Okay. 7 of Pentacles. Holy hell in a handbasket. Where's my pen? Hold on, I gotta get a pen. I need to have something to point with. I don't have my crispy nails anymore. 10 of Cups reversed. Yep, 4 of Cups. The Page of Swords. All right, Aries, you know I love you, right? I love you so much, and I wouldn't kick you out of bed for eating crackers or me. But I have to say that this is highly disappointing. You know, it doesn't have to be all bad, okay? But that 10 of Cups in reverse, you are at this point where you're probably not showing up in your most vulnerable state. If anything, you're pretty damn disappointed. It really just feels, if I may be so bold, it feels that you are being a bit of a grumpy pants, okay? You're being a bit of a grumpy pants. You seem to be disappointed with how something has gone or it has not gone. So, what you're doing is it kind of feels like you're pulling back your energy where you're like, well, I'm not going to show up to their party on Friday. You know, it's kind of like that vibe. And with that Page of Swords, you're still, you're still being a bit of a stalker, right? So you're not showing up to the party, but you are hiding in the bushes and you're watching the party from a distance. Does that make sense? And I love you for it, I really do. So you're being a little stealthy. Why are we disappointed? Because you didn't get what you wanted. There's quite a focus in June for something that you want on an individual level, and you feel like this person or somebody, maybe it's a family member, whoever it is, didn't give it to you. And so now you're finding every reason possible to be upset. And maybe you have every reason to be upset, but the thing about the Four of Cups is that you also have many reasons to be grateful. And I think it's important that you remember that for the rest of June. The Tower, the Page of Cups reversed, and the Six of Pentacles. This to me looks like Tantrum City. I almost said the Wheel of Fortune. What's the Tower? The Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's some kind of emotional upset that is occurring. It's going to feel like it's coming out of nowhere, but in my honest opinion, what I get intuitively is it feels like this was a long time coming. It feels like there was something emotionally in a relationship that was not working. Something refused to change. Someone refused to change. And now it's like, surprise. And something is kind of crashing down. And the thing is that there seems to be mutual love in whatever this is. And there's even this offer, like, I don't know if it's a peace treaty. I don't know if, so let me put it like this. Something isn't working out, but it feels as though somebody is still trying to give in a way that may not necessarily be what you had hoped, but there's still this, come on, like, come to the party. you know yeah, I know that I didn't accept your invitation to go on a vacation with you or whatever, but like, come on, stop hanging out in the bushes. Like, you can come in the party. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the vibe. The Seven of Pentacles for your advice, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, and the Three of Cups. This is about having a conversation with you and either another person or people that is understanding, loving, and kind. And we love that for Cancer season. We fucking love that for Cancer season, right? Now, the Seven of Pentacles is asking, what are you invested in and what are you invested in and why? And the Nine of Pentacles reverse is asking you, are you trying to just prove something or is this authentic to you? Is this authentic to you or is there a level of codependency here? Are you just invested in something or someone because you don't want to be alone? What is it? What are you trying to prove? And is that part of your values? Is that really a part of who you are? So, look alive, Aries. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want to book a super chat question, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis to get your cards read during this live. And if you want to get 15% off, then you can order one within the next 15 minutes. the next 15 minutes to be able to get your discount. Hello. All right. Let's move on to what's up, Shannon? What's up, Casey? I wonder what zodiac sign is best in bed. Well, that is totally going to be up to your own personal chart and everyone's chart in here, right? So, like, look at Mars, look at Venus, compare those, right? I think that those are important and how they, and believe it or not, squares, don't just give all the credit to the trines and the sextiles, right? Those easy aspects in a synastry chart. Give a little bit of credit to, you know, the squares, specifically the squares, sometimes oppositions, but it's a little bit difficult. Squares squares carry the same energy as Mars, and Mars can be about our sexual drive and going after what we want. And so squares can sometimes make things a little bit, hot and heavy in the bedroom, right? Hot and heavy in the bedroom. God, I sound like I'm freaking 80 years old. But yeah, that's right, meow. What's up? Shannon, it's very nice to see you. Complexity, what's up, baby? I had a dream about you, Complexity. And I don't even know how that's possible because I've literally never seen you in my life. But I just remembered it just now, but I don't like remember what it was. I just remember that you were there. Yeah, there's not an easy answer. Sorry, unfortunately. Like, I think a really good one, okay, everyone's like, "Oh my god, date somebody who has, their Venus in your first house or vice versa." Listen, I'm ruled by Venus, okay? I got a lot of planets ruled by Venus or very important ones, but Mars, you want somebody to just really want to F you all the time or to constantly be chasing you in some way. Get somebody that, and this is all by experience, get somebody that has Mars in your rising sign. 10 out of 10. And I'm speaking from both sides. So I'm a Taurus rising. I'd love to have a Mars and Taurus person. I have a Mars and Capricorn. I think Capricorn risings are some of the most hottest people. Like, I had a Capricorn rising ex that I was absolutely obsessed with. Like, the father of my children as well, Capricorn rising. Like, I couldn't keep my hands off of these people at the time. But people outgrow one another, and that's the nicest way I'm going to put that. Okay. Alrighty. Do you scope out their synastry before? No, I would never do something like that. Duh. Uh, Taurus. Speaking of the devil, what's going on, my fellow Taurians? Let's go ahead and see the rest of this June for you. All right. Ooh, spicy. Okay, don't hurt them. Oh, this is cute. Okay. Oh, wow. Hello, daddy. I'm sorry. All right, let's see that Queen of Wands, Taurus, for your energy. The Four of Pentacles. All that gorgeousness, and you're just keeping it to yourself. Yeah, because you bitches have Venus in your sign for the rest of the month. You think you rule the world. We do. What's that High Priestess reversed? Chariot. I heard specifically quiet victories. Silent wins and quiet victories. What are you hiding from us? Be honest. Okay. I feel like you shouldn't be telling anybody though. Cuz that Queen of Wands, I mean, I got to be honest, you're really fucking feeling yourself. You're really feeling yourself. You look incredible. You're taking the lead in your own life. You're showing up to the party. You're showing up to the ball. You know what I mean? You are putting your best foot forward. You don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I mean, what a time to be alive, right? I have a feeling in July, I think it's July 4th, at least where I am, I think it's July 4th, when Venus, okay, your ruler, comes into conjunction with Uranus. I feel like that's when you're going to break free or break out or do something wild or do something crazy. But it seems like there's something that you are keeping quiet about because you want a win. And you may be like thinking, or you may fear, well, if I expose this, or if I say this, or if I talk about this, then it may not occur. And I mean, it's not a terrible thing to live by. You start putting energy out there, whether you realize it or not, people are fucking with that, and it can get sabotaged, blah blah blah. Sorry, I live in paranoid city. But I feel like you guys are really keeping your wins to yourself. You look so hot though. I mean, are you free this weekend? You look really good. Like the Queen of Wands is like the baddie, you know what I mean? And so outspoken. The Six of Cups. Stuck on the past, are we? Ace of Cups reversed. There may be somebody you end up reconnecting with, or you may be uncertain on whether or not you want to reopen that. So you may be just kind of giving to yourself as opposed to taking your energy and giving it so freely to another person. Now, the Six of Cups can talk about a gift from God, or it can represent a person that we are connecting with in some way, someone that we have very sweet feelings towards. It's not always a romantic partner. Sometimes it can be about a friend. And the Six of Cups is just that very deep soul connection, very intimate. Intimate does not always have to mean romantic, something to keep in mind. A very deep, intimate connection with someone, but there's some confusion there with the Eight of Swords, or there's an uncertainty. Why? The Ten of Swords, because there has already been an ending, or there's a fear of betrayal, or there's already been a betrayal. So I feel like you're kind of keeping to yourself. You know what I'm saying? The Emperor for your advice. Oh, okay. Wow, look at that. Enough with the same old, same old. Eight of Pentacles reversed. You seen it, you know, you came, you seen it, you rode the ride, you got the t-shirt, you got the coffee mug, right? Chipped on its first day. Right, we're done with that. I really think that this is a time for you to upgrade the type of masculinity that you are surrounding yourself with. The Emperor, the King of Pentacles, right? But also making sure that you're not being too critical on others, or even too critical on yourself. Mars is going to be in Virgo tomorrow, I believe. And if you're Taurus rising, Mars rules your seventh house of one-on-one relationships. So maybe it's something about partners, not being too critical when it comes to opening yourself up to love, if that's something that you're interested in. But this can really be about allowing yourself to make different decisions so you can invite different energies into your life. Okay. So that means that you will have to master something about yourself. Now, if this is like, you're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about men, or I don't want men around me, or whatever, okay, maybe it's not in a romantic sense. Maybe it's just in general. If this is more so about you, this is telling you to take the lead in your own life to the point where you put any of your self-criticisms or negative thinking to the sidelines. You can pick them up at another time, but this is about creating um this level of authority by taking responsibility for your own emotions and your own thought life in order to have a better life for yourself. So that is what I have for you, Taurus. Thank you so much. I do hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can go ahead and visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can book with me there. If you order within the next 7 minutes, then you can get 15% off your question. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Make sure that you guys hit unsubscribe and then resubscribe, because there's been some kind of glitch. So just an FYI, okay? And make sure you hit the little bell so you can get notified when I go live. If you haven't done that, I'm very disappointed in you. I still love you. You can still sit here, but I'm very disappointed. All right, Gemini, what's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for the rest of your June 2025. Okay, well, that's you, Knight of Swords. I just heard that song, Whip It Good. Why did I hear that? The Knight of Cups reversed, the Three of Swords reversed for your advice. Okay, let's see that Knight of Swords. What are we doing here? I can tell that you've thought a lot about this. What's that Two of Pentacles reversed? Wow. You've thought a lot about something for a very long time, or that's essentially what you're doing in June. You're at this point where you're becoming a lot wiser. You're in search of something. You may be in search of something outside of yourself, but you're going to find that you've had it the whole time and the call was coming from inside the house. What you're doing is there's something in your life that has been, I don't want to say it's been a waste, but it may have been very confusing. You may not really have room for it anymore. It's like that piece of furniture, that's just taking up a bunch of space and nobody uses it anymore. Or it's just really old, or it's taking up too much room, or maybe it's your old clothes from like 2008 and you're like, "Oh god, I got to clear it out." Maybe it's a person, maybe it's people, maybe it's social media. Fuck, I don't know. Whatever you're doing though, you're deciding to drop it. You're deciding to walk away from it because whatever it is, you feel like it's full of shit, or it's an illusion, or you feel like there's rose-colored glasses that you've been wearing and you're like, "Yeah, I can't really handle this." But you are on a mission. You're on a mission not just for truth, but your own personal sense of truth. And you're actually taking action to seek out whatever that is. What kind of truth? The 5 of Pentacles reversed. It can be about your finances. I don't know why I didn't think of that. What kind of tarot reader am I? It's literally pentacle energy. There can be like a rebudgeting of some sort. So maybe you guys, have your finances in too many, I don't know, investments that aren't really doing well, or this is not financial advice. Or maybe there's just a bunch of subscriptions that you need to cancel in order to have a better financial life. Maybe you are looking to pay off some debts or pay off some things. Or maybe it's just that there's some abandonment wounds or some self-worth or self-value issues that you're realizing that you need to release because it is essentially fucking you. And that's what happens, right? When we carry those childhood wounds into our adult life. That's exactly what it does. It sabotages us. It gets us to do things that we wouldn't normally do, or to say things that we wouldn't normally say, or to date people that we wouldn't normally date, right? It's all about trying to dress the wounds that other people have created for us. And a lot of the times, in search of that, in search of attempting to dress those wounds, we actually allow them to fester and we make them worse. And so I feel like there's a truth that you are ultimately seeking that is far bigger than just your childhood, or far bigger than even just you. Maybe even a universal truth of sorts. And I'm not sure why I'm getting that. I just am, so I'm going to say it. Speaking of the universe, we have the world. Look at that. Knight of Cups reversed. The world and the strength reversed. So I feel like there's a lot of emotional things to do with pride, ego, your weaknesses, your integrity is what I'm hearing as well, or maybe another's, but that Hermit for your energy is telling me that there's I mean, the thing about the Hermit is that he is, or she is, essentially seeking something outside of him or herself, and then in the end she finds out, she's had the thing, or he's had the thing that they've been looking for, or whatever. So there's a sense of self-awareness. And I feel like a lot of it is you finally achieving something that you've been seeking out for a very, very long time. What is that? Judgment reversed. Truth. The judgment is the truth. It's the truth of the past. It's your own personal truth. It's getting to the point of taking accountability for self, taking accountability for how you got here, even if other people intervened in a negative way. And so I see you guys doing that. I see you guys owning something to completion about your own weaknesses, about your own emotional inconsistencies, about your jealousies, about whatever negative moods that we all have because we're human. And there's a owning of these. There's a completion of these. And there's a self-awareness and a wisdom because of it. Your advice is the Three of Swords reversed, the Lovers, and the Six of Wands. When it comes to making emotional choices, I really want you to make higher self decisions at this point. You had Jupiter going through your sign for a very long time, for a year and some change. And while Jupiter doesn't necessarily like being in Gemini, it's still Jupiter. It brings wisdom and understanding and growth. And I want you to remember the things that you've learned in the past year, especially about love and success and what that means to you and how it's different for everyone, and that's okay. And I want you to make decisions based around what you specifically learned this last year, because I feel like it's really going to bring you to a place that you're going to want and a place that you deserve. So, Gemini, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys would like to book a super chat question and get your cards read during this live, then you can go ahead and visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. And yeah, have a good one. Have a good rest of your June. What's up, Mason? Agreed. Loved it. What's up, Dark Tarot? Ooh, cute name. Love that. All right. Damn, it's freaking hot as hell in here. And you know what? I turned up the AC right before I came in here. But here we are. Okay, I'm going to get a water. Got it. Okay. A water, and I'm going to turn up the AC. Okay, we're right here. Okay. Great. Never fails. Listen. Period. Wow, Tom. Okay. Must be anticipation of the Cancer that made V. Well, you know what? Cancer is my favorite sign. I cannot deny it. It just is. Cancer, and I do love me some Capricorns. I love Aquarius too, though. I do really like Aquarius. Like, I think about it. I know nobody asked, but all my favorite artists are Moon and Aquarius. You know what I mean? Like, there's something to that. They're so fucking weird. I love them. What's up, Stacy? Glad to hear it. And don't forget, you guys, if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, then you can visit violettaalexis.com and you can do that. Moving on to Cancer. What's going on, Cancer? I hope you guys are doing well. Let's go ahead and see what is going on for you for June 2025. Happy birthday, obviously. Gonna have that new moon in Cancer. That's gonna be super sexy. 8 of Wands. Justice reversed. Ace of Pentacles for your advice. 8 of Wands. What you so nervous for? See, you're double thinking. Oh, what is the word? You're second guessing something that you're trying to pursue. The 8 of Wands is here and it's like all steam ahead. Let's fucking do this. I'm ready. But then that Nine of Swords is like, are you ready? Are you actually ready? Because you don't have the faith. You have the desire, right? There's the desire of action. Your mind is telling you where to go, it's telling you what to do, but then your mind is also asking you every possible question of how it could go wrong. And isn't that how we always sabotage ourselves? Isn't that how we always end up failing so many times? It's good to have that level of discernment, but how much discernment can quickly turn into that negative thinking that gets us the opposite of what we actually want. And it's because there's a piece of you that is unhealed. There's a piece of you that says either you don't deserve it, or you can never have it, or you're not good enough, or your mommy told you that you were should have never been born, or who knows, right? Whatever internal voice you have inside of your head is going off like a chatterbox. What is this thing that we're trying to it can be wanting to communicate something as well, or there could be a desire to travel. What's that Eight of Wands? The King of Wands reversed. The King of Wands in the upright is an entrepreneur. He or she, because they're not gender specific, but the King of Wands is somebody who's a self-starter, somebody who takes the lead, somebody who is a natural born leader and actually quite creative, funny, and maybe you're wanting to pursue something of that nature. Maybe you're wanting to pursue somebody that you're attracted to. Maybe you're wanting to create your own business of some sort, or be some kind of entrepreneur. But the King of Wands is reversed. And you have this doubt in your head that you cannot be this person and that you cannot do this. Or there's even this overcompensation of you trying to be something that you're not. You can still get what you want with being who you truly are and learning and growing along the way. That's the beauty about life, isn't it? Something else going on in the end of June is the Justice reversed, the Three of Pentacles reversed, and the Death card. Whew. Something feels unjustified. Something feels wrong. And it seems like you and another person, it can be a coworker with that Three of Pentacles reversed, or it can be somebody that you are attempting to collaborate in one way or another. There can be things like third parties or serious disagreements that take a really volatile turn, if I'm being 100% honest with you. So, with that Death card, there will be an ending of sorts, or there will be some kind of change. But what you may not realize in the moment is that ending or that change is likely going to lead to this, to that new seed, to that new level of growth, to those opportunities. We don't realize a lot of the times when we are allowing certain people, places, things, addictions, whatever it is, to be in our life on a consistent basis. God, the universe, whatever you believe in, keeps trying to send you shit, but you're just not ready for it. You're just not ready for it. And sometimes it can be the people that you're surrounding yourself with. Sometimes it can be what you choose to do with your time and your energy and your space. So sometimes there are things that you need to give up on, or things that you need to remove, because it's not always about addition. A lot of the times it's about subtraction. And so many times I've asked people, like, what is one thing that would really make your life better right now? And every single time, I shit you not, it is always somebody saying, if I just had this, if I could just get this, if I could just gain this, earn this, instead of a removal of something, or someone, which we don't realize is the kicker. Your advice. And then we have the Hangman, the great sacrifice, Ace of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, the Devil reverse. You know that something is toxic in your life, whether that is a mind frame, an attitude, a person, an addiction, whatever it is. You have to be willing to open yourself up to the idea that that thing no longer has a place in your life anymore. But you're needing to see the reason behind it. You're needing to see how toxic something is for you. And until there is an awareness of what that thing is, there will not be growth until there is that awareness. That's when you can gain the opportunities, is when you change your perspective. When you change your perspective, that's when true change happens externally from you. Okay? So, Cancer, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can book with me there. Let's move on to Leo. What's going on, Leo? What's up, Tyler? Oh, I love that, Redmond. What's up, Mojo? After Jupiter's growing pains, yeah. Papa got a brand new bag. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate what all the nice things that you always say to me. I do. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to Leo. What's going on, guys? How are you? Let's go ahead and see what's going on for you for the rest of June. Oh, 3 of Wands reversed. The 10 of Wands. The 7 of Swords reversed for your advice. Okay, let's see that 3 of Wands reversed. Being a bit passive, are we? 2 of Swords reversed. Why are we so frustrated? The 7 of Wands. Feels like you're coming up on a bit of a battle with somebody and you seem to be upset because something isn't going in the way that you had planned or the way that you had sought out. So now it feels like you're pissed. It feels like you're pissed, but you're not going to let them know that you're pissed. So what you're doing is you're acknowledging that you're pissed. You're also acknowledging that you don't want to confront it. You're probably acknowledging to just choose yourself. And you're like, yep, nope, not even going to fight it. Because it makes me wonder if you were trying to compete for something, but it didn't go the way that you had planned, or it's that you feel as though somebody is keeping you at arm's length or somebody is standing up to you in some way as well. Okay? Just being honest. And it can feel like you're being pushed into a corner. But this is all just perspective. Okay? This is just your feelings, which are 100% valid. But what I will say is that excuse me, okay, burp smelled like tacos, honestly. Just got done eating tacos. They were so good. Sorry. So that 7 of Wands is in the upright, which tells me, in my humble opinion, that if this is somebody else, they are rightfully standing up to you. Okay? They may be rightfully standing up to you. Because the guy on the 7 of Wands, okay, in traditional Rider-Waite, he's maintaining his already earned success. And there are people that are trying to tear him or her down off of this hill in order to get what they have, right? And so you may be doing that to someone. And that's why you're frustrated, because you may feel like they are successfully putting you at a distance. Now, if you need to reverse this, please, by all means, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, yeah, I think it's the other way around, by all means, read it that way, okay? But I'm just telling you that that's how I see it, because you are the one that is essentially frustrated. Now, of course, because it's like something isn't working out in the way that you want it. Now, maybe you feel like you are not successfully defending yourself against another person. Maybe there's almost this complacency or this passivity that you are utilizing as opposed to actually standing up against somebody. I can read it like that as well. And it seems like you're thinking about it in a way of you're just kind of frustrated, and so you don't want to deal with it. And so you're just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it can also be the other way around. 10 of Wands, Ace of Swords reversed, the Magician reversed. I'm not the biggest fan. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of this energy because it feels like there is a level of responsibility that somebody has acquired or now has, and there's another person who is attempting to manipulate the truth or leave some of it out, or, maybe create some lies behind the scenes. Or why is this person doing that? The King of Swords reversed, because they're trying to gaslight another person about what the truth is, or they're concerned about how others are perceiving them. So I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's another person, but there's somebody here that I feel needs to take responsibility for something. And I feel like it's very burdensome and it's quite heavy, and that's why somebody doesn't want to do it. That's why somebody doesn't want to take the responsibility. This is your classic, I'm going to run you around in circles and tell you that you're walking a straight line. This is the classic, I'm going to manipulate the truth so that nobody actually knows what it is. Gaslight City. Right? So, I don't know who that is, but your advice is the Seven of Swords reverse, which can talk about needing to tell the truth, okay? The Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands reversed. What's that Seven of Swords reversed? The Seven of Cups reversed. It's about a reality check moment. It's about being honest about something that was an illusion, being honest about something that you may have lied about, or maybe you didn't tell the full truth, or whatever it is. And it's telling you that instead of procrastinating or waiting around for the truth to just come out or for it to just resolve itself, it's telling you to act with integrity and dignity, and just be honest about it and take action through that, essentially. Listen, we've all manipulated the truth. We've all lied. If you've never lied, I don't believe that you're from this planet, and I don't believe you're a human being. Like, sorry. Now, of course, it could represent you needing to be honest with yourself, and instead of focusing on whatever or whomever this is, I just bit my tongue. Focus on whatever or whomever this is, to focus on yourself. Focus on yourself and focus on the things that make you have your passion for life. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to book a super chat question with me, then you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis, and you can book a question with me there. So let's go ahead and move on to Virgo. Virgo, Mars is in your sign. I need you guys to relax, okay? Take a chill pill. Well, it will be tomorrow anyway. What's up, Barbie? All right, Virgo. Virgo. What's going on, Virgo? I hope that you guys are doing super awesome. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for you for the rest of June. Ace of Wands reversed. Page of Pentacles reversed. Two of Wands reversed. Okay. The Four of Wands reversed. Knight, Jesus. Listen, if you guys have some things that you need to break out of financially, you need to do it. If you need to move, you need to get on that. If you are needing to work on something in the home, if you have a home-based business, whatever it is, stop giving yourself the runaround. It's time that you actually get your ass in gear. You take initiative towards the things that you need to take initiative on. There's no half stepping. There's no overthinking this. There's no analysis paralysis or caring too much about what everyone else thinks or feeling too insecure to be able to make the move. Whatever it is, you keep delaying something, and the more that you delay it, honestly, Virgo, the worse that it's going to get. So Mars being in your sign, this is a great time to get your shit together, to get back in the gym, to work out, to take care of those tax forms, to maybe do some writing, even whatever it is. Like, Mars is going to energize you to get shit done. And Mars is also going to cut out the shit that you don't need. Maybe you need to take better care of your health, right? Virgo can be about health and disease and things like this. Whatever it is, don't sit around and wait for it to change itself. It's not going to. You're going to need to be the one that takes initiative and break free from whatever these insecurities are, financial constraints, or your issue around procrastination. Okay, and potentially laziness, okay, for some of you. So, it's pretty straightforward. Oh boy. God, all reversals. I can't even imagine. I've never seen, I don't think, this many reversals all in one thing at once like that. Like, not even one upright. Okay. If you are this King of Cups reversed, okay? So if you are a more masculine kind of energy, or if you're a man or masculine, women can also be masculine. You got to grow up. Okay. I'm one to talk, right? But you got to grow up. It's grow up time now. This is a time where you stop procrastinating, Page of Pentacles reverse. You stop fooling yourself, Page of Pentacles in reverse. You stop telling yourself what you want to hear. You stop trying to control everything through manipulations or manipulative tactics, and actually put a true honest to God effort into the things that you do want to change, into the things that you actually can control through a more mature perspective, through more mature actions. If you are not this King of Cups reversed, I am telling you that whomever this is, okay, whomever this person is, there is not a change. There's no change. Whatever this person is telling you is likely a manipulator or manipulating, at least in the moment, but they haven't actually changed. There's no actual offer. I know that sounds really shitty, but I'm not going to tell you a fairy tale. You know, somebody called me the queen of negative tarot the other day, and I was like, well, like, I mean, what do you want me to say? Like, you know? Like, I'm not gonna make you a fucking this is not bedtime story tarot. Like, this is so I'm just being honest with you. It doesn't mean that this is the end all and the world is ending and everything's gonna go to shit and your life is over. No, I'm just telling you that this may be the energy. This is just a general reading, and this may pop up. So now that you have this information, now you know, hey, this is not the time to procrastinate. This is the time to get your ass in gear. Oh, P.S. Your old, uncle who maybe, I don't know, was a terrible person, they're still a terrible person, or maybe it's your ex or whatever. And we've all been terrible people at one point in our lives, right? Or two or five or 10, like me, right? But if we're making changes, then great, right? There's honor in that. If we're not, and so I'm just telling you, don't take on somebody else's problems because you love them all the time. Okay. Like, I get it if it's like a one time somebody made a mistake, fine. But this to me looks like a repetitive issue. Your advice. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, not a single upright. All right. Two of Wands reversed, Two of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is about you changing your ways. Let me put it like this, right? If you have like a friend, okay, who is always a friend, who is always asking to borrow money from you, okay? And you notice that you really only hear from them when they want something from you, when they need money, when they need something, but they've never paid you back, right? It is now your responsibility, not to them, but to yourself, to stop giving them more of something that they don't appreciate. You have to do what's right for you, and you have to protect yourself. And that's what it's asking you to do. If you do not act differently, you will not receive differently. And that's just the way that the world works. That's the way that the cookie crumbles. So take care of you. Okay. So Virgo, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to book a super chat question with me, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. All right, let's move on to Libra. What's going on, Libra? I hope you guys are doing awesome. What's up, the new paradigm? Let's go ahead and see what's going on for the rest of June 2025. Nine of Wands. Well, excuse me. The Sun. Okay. Okay. Damn. Virgo, you took all the reverse cards. Lucky you, Libra. Let's see. Wow, look at that. Speaking of Libra, there you are, showing up as the creme de la creme. Some of you are getting pregnant. Okay. This is what I say. Some of you are quite literally getting pregnant, or you are getting someone pregnant. Okay, for real. Jupiter in Cancer, fertility, big time. So just a word of caution. Jupiter is going through Cancer for the next year. I got pregnant with my second child during Jupiter in Cancer. Okay. So just a word of caution if that's not something that you're interested in. If you are, fabulous. Now, if you have been watching me for a while, you're probably very well aware that when your major arcana shows up in its rightful place in the upright position, this is me seeing you as your higher self. You are showing up, Libra, in such a way. I mean, I think that the last reading I had for you was pretty fucking sad, if I'm not mistaken. This is an absolute home run stretcher win. Not only do you have your boundaries in their proper position, you are standing up for yourself, you are taking care of yourself, you look absolutely gorgeous. We'll give some of that credit to Venus being in Taurus where she likes to be, okay? But you look incredible. And I mean, there may be a lot of things that you're doing. Maybe you're going to the gym. This can also be somebody who is showing up very creatively, somebody who's maybe doing some writing, doing some art, doing some crafts, taking your sitz bath and doing your facials or whatever it may be. If you're a masculine and you feel like this is a woman in your life, then, you have a really hot lady in your life. Congratulations. You know what I mean? Don't mess it up, right? But that moon energy, I'm a little curious about. What's that moon? The Queen of Swords reversed. I really feel like you are nurturing not just the good things, but you're nurturing these deeper seated emotions that you have that are likely rooted in anger, rage for some of you, um, fears that may in the past have caused you to lash out in some way. What I want to say is it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be pissed. It's okay to be full of rage. It's just how you deal with it. It's just how you handle it that is important. That's more important, I believe, than the rage itself. And so I think it's important for you. How many times can I say that word? I think it's important for you to make sure that you have a healthy coping mechanism for whatever these emotions are, because they certainly are there. They're very prevalent. But I do think that you're dealing with them through a lot of self care and creativity. Because there are some people, they can be full of rage and anger, and they go and do something very, very violent to other people or to a person. Some people will, go paint a fucking picture, right? Some people will go and, try to fuck their way out of some kind of void. That doesn't work. Some people will go and write, right? So it depends on how you're dealing with it. And I really feel like you're dealing with it in a very healthy way. I'm really proud of you. The sun, the Five of Swords reversed, and the Hierophant reversed. It's kind of that energy of like something just isn't for you, and guess what? That's okay. You know, the Hierophant reverse can be when something is a bit unconventional, non traditional. Okay. So there can be like a relationship that maybe you're interested in that's kind of like that. Maybe you and this person have very different beliefs, or something is just like a little oddball about it. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to kind of explore that or whatever. Now, on another deeper note, this can be some things that you're realizing about yourself when it comes to your values, when it comes to your the fundamentals of who you are, what makes you you, and things may be changing in that regard, and that's okay as well. But there can also be where somebody else is trying to shove a belief or some kind of value down your throat that you're like, yeah, that's not really for me, dog. You know what I mean? And like you're maybe expressing that in a very confident way, or maybe you're not expressing anything at all and you're just kind of keeping it to yourself with that moon there. But it can be this energy of some like a light being shown on something that isn't really for you or is unconventional, but like you're okay with it, and like you're kind of happy that maybe you got somebody else's perspective that was on the other side of things. Does that make sense? Your advice. Oh, is that where that negative emotion is coming from? The Temperance, the Five of Cups, and the Four of Swords. Just keep yourself in check. There have been times, like for instance, when I've been really angry about something and I didn't want to hurt another or really hurt myself, I would fucking scream into a pillow. Like I would dead ass like scream into a pillow, and like that felt great. I'm not gonna lie to you. So don't be afraid to do the things that heal you. Understand that negative emotions are fine. There's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with wanting to flip the fuck out, but it's how you deal with it that really tells you who you are. So just act with integrity, but make sure that you have balance in your life. So not too much of one thing or another. Just make sure you're handling your business, being creative, those things. Because if there is some kind of pain that you're going through, and we all are, right? Uh, you can create something from that pain that ends up being very beautiful. That's why I have the business that I have now. That's why I have Violetta Alexis Tarot, because I created this because of a breakup. You know, there's a lot of creative things that I have created on my Where Dead Flowers Bloom writing page that most of it came from experience or negative experiences or pain. And isn't that the whole name of it, right? Where dead flowers bloom. So you can take a dead thing and yeah, kind of reincarnate it in a way that is more beautiful than what it was before, if that makes sense, metaphorically speaking. So that's what I have for you, Libra. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Scorpio after I get a drink of water. What's up, bad lady? Oh, meow. That's so nice. Thank you. That's very kind. Travel safe. Are we going somewhere? Or is that like a metaphor? I'm so confused. Where is everyone going? All right. Oh, wow, meow. That's heavy. Whew, damn. That's a lot. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Scorpio. What's going on, Scorpio? How are you? Let's go ahead and see what is going on for you for June 2025, or the rest of it anyway. The Fool. Love the Fool. The Temperance. Okay. Okay, wow. Libra had both of these cards. Oh, I feel like you are getting ready to blow here. What's going on? Well, you're showing up as a masculine for some of you. Okay, so something to keep in mind. If you're a feminine, this could be somebody that you're dealing with. What's that Six of Swords reversed? The Four of Swords reversed. Uh-oh. This is when you are trying to start brand new. You're trying to take a leap. You're ready to go. You're ready to do the new thing. You're ready to not give a shit about what anybody thinks. You're ready to go for it. You're ready to leave the baggage behind, but sometimes the baggage comes with you, especially if you have suppressed it or pushed it down or attempted to hide it or not deal with it. And it's kind of reminds me of when somebody's like, oh, I just want to get out of here and I just want to move to a new state or a new country, right? Can't tell you how many times I've said that, right? That doesn't really mean that you are escaping the things that you need to heal from. Those things come with you wherever you go. And I really want you to keep that in mind when you're venturing out on this new journey. Because while I think that part of you is absolutely ready, part of you is like, fuck yeah, I'm just ready to leave it all behind. I'm ready to da 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 da. And that's fine. Maybe you are physically leaving something or someone behind. Great. If you need to do that, if that's what is best for you, 100%, you need to do that. But what about the stuff that you can't see? And how is that going to affect your journey when you are attempting to move forward? Because it's telling me that you have not quite healed from that thing. Maybe it's not necessarily about a person. Maybe for some of you, now this could be another way that I could spin it. Ooh, Violetta, you're so good. This could be another way that I could spin it. Sometimes when I have had fear or anxiety during like a conflict or something, right? I just do it anyway. I just do the thing anyway. Now, of course, as long as you're safe and all of these things. but I just do the thing anyway, or I just confront the situation anyway. I stand up to it anyway, even though there's a fear there or there's an anxiety. And sometimes that creates a level of confidence from within that you can only get from overcoming it, that you can only get from conquering it yourself. Sometimes it's not about conquering the world, it's about conquering these little tiny pieces of you that the world has created. And so with that King of Wands, it's this, I feel like you're doing the thing anyway. You're breaking free anyway. You're pushing free anyway. And because of that, there's this newfound confidence. I really like it. Wow. Oh my God. You know what I just got with that temperance? I'm gonna pull the other card, but what I just got. So there is this grave. There's this grave, and I mean, I can't imagine how much it costs, but an angel, like a carved angel, like huge, right? Like bigger than a person. And she looks like she's mourning over this grave, right? And you just see her big wings. I mean, it's fucking stunning. Like, it's stunning. My kids better be able to afford that when I die. Okay. But that's the image I got in my mind. And it feels like there is something that you're mourning. It feels like there's something that you're mourning, but there's so very much this beauty that's coming from it. And there's this peace that you're finding through the trials and the tribulations, and even a peace that you're really creating, a piece that you are creating. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to create the piece that you feel like you can't find. Two of Swords, peace. There's not an avoidance of the peace. There's not an avoidance of the grievance, or there's not an avoidance of the pain or whatever. There is peace, though. Your advice. The Nine of Wands with the King of Swords and the King of Cups. Wow. I really want to say, like, if this is for a masculine, be the man that you want to be. Be the man that is the mature, stoic, confident man that I know you can be. Like, fight for that. Fight for being that better you. Okay? Or even if you're not a man, okay, be the best woman that you can be, whatever, but be the best person that you can possibly be. And that's going to take a lot of battles. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've betrayed myself to be liked, or done things I'm not proud of in order to feel accepted, or to whatever. And like, those are things I can never take back. Like, those are things that I look back on and I absolutely cringe, you know? But I know that I don't need to be that anymore. I know that I can be the woman that I truly know that I am, without all of the external influences making me think a certain way about myself, or that I need to act a certain way or be a certain way to, whatever it is. And what I believe is right in my heart, what I believe the truth is, my truth, the truth of the world, and being able to fight for that and show up in a calm, cool, collected, stoic way, or just being able to stand up for my own truth. You have this here. You have this advice here for you needing to do that. Needing to stand up for what you love and who you believe yourself to be, not what the world told you should be, not the false leaders that we tend to cling to, or these celebrities that we idolize, or whatever false gods we create in order to feel like we're a part of something that's bigger than ourselves, because the only real thing that we have is the universe inside of us. That's really it. That's what you have to work with, and that's already enough within itself. Why do you think that you need anything outside of that? So, Scorpio, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a super chat question to get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Scorpio. And I hope that you guys have a great June. All right, what's going on, Sag? How are you? Let's go ahead and see what you guys have going on for June 2025. If you guys have not, please make sure that you hit unsubscribe and then click the subscribe button again, because I think that we've been having some glitches. So just something to keep in mind. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, let's go ahead and see. Ooh, the Ace of Cups. The Devil reversed. Wow. Okay. The Sun reversed. Whew. Why am I seeing like an adult clutching a teddy bear or a stuffed animal from their childhood? I do not know why I'm seeing that, but that is what I'm seeing. Or like some kind of nostalgic keepsake or something. I don't know why I saw that. The Ace of Cups with the Five of Wands reversed. The Ten of Wands reversed. What's the Ten of Wands reversed? The Hermit. This definitely points to a person, you. I feel like you're lightening the load. You may have found that you have taken responsibility for not just your own things, but also taken the responsibility of another. Maybe you blamed yourself. Maybe you bit off more than you can chew. Maybe you took on something that wasn't your responsibility in the first place. And now there's I almost want to say a regeneration or a regenerative focus back on the self. And because you're doing that, you have a lot more to give from a very authentic place. The Ace of Cups is so very potent. Like, you don't understand how potent the aces and the pages are. It's like, not to be gross, but it's like the sperm or like the seed of life, you know? And so many possibilities. There's so many possibilities. And there's so much that can grow from that, from what you decide to water. And you have a lot to offer here, but it's because you have decided to relieve yourself of some of these burdens that you've been carrying for a very long time. And it can be something that you were very conflicted about for a while, but it may have brought a lot of drama into your life. It may have made you second guess yourself. Am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? And now you're like, I'm not gonna think about that anymore. Like, thanks. Like, I'm not doing it. And Jupiter is in Cancer. Jupiter is your guys' ruler. Jupiter being in Cancer, it's exalted position. Yes, I know that it's squaring Saturn and Neptune right now. I get it, okay? But like, after that, it's just, I don't want to say it's going to be smooth sailing, but Jupiter in Cancer is so full of life and so potent and nostalgic. It's very nostalgic. And it's just, and so your ruling planet being in here is such a huge blessing. And I feel like it's taking a load off of you, essentially. The Devil reversed. The Nine of Cups reversed. the Queen of Swords, there's a huge awareness and realization that something is toxic, or there's a fear that has held you back from you getting what you want. For some of you, it was a codependency. For some of you, there was a realization that you were doing far too much in an attempt to prove yourself to another in order to get a crumb or in order to get some kind of need met. But you weren't really getting what you wanted. Not truly. It was like, it's like somebody, constantly just feeding you cubes of sugar when, like, you need sustenance. You need, like, broccoli and apples and shit. You know what I mean? And now there's something that's happening with that Queen of Swords that's making you realize this. Making you realize something. Maybe you were doing it to yourself. I don't know. But the way that you were going about it, whether it was that you were looking for love or you were doing things out of fear. So, like, oh, if I don't do this for this person, they're going to leave me. That is not a healthy way to go about a relationship, right? Or if it was, I need to look like this, or I'm not going to be accepted by this, that, and the third, whatever. So now there's a realization that that's not really getting you what you want. And the real question is, what do you want? That's the question that you're asking yourself, and you're answering it. And you're answering it from a wiser perspective and from a more logical perspective at that. Because the Queen of Swords is somebody who's been fucked over a lot, right? And she's like, all right, well, the Queen of Swords, she reminds me of Shira 7 a little, like a mix between like Judge Judy and Shira 7. Like the Queen of Swords, she put so much of her heart into love and so much of her trust into these things. And now, like, she had her ass handed to her a lot. And she's like, yeah, that was a joke, right? So, whatever that thing is, okay? Wow. Your advice is the Sun reversed, the Empress, and the Wheel of Fortune. This is about you trusting that you are worthy, trusting that you are worth being loved, that you deserve love, just because maybe you have made some mistakes, or just maybe because you're not in the best financial situation, or just because you may have some physical flaws, or whatever need be, or whatever it is. Wasn't the right way to say that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you're undeserving of love, or to put yourself first, or to love on yourself, honestly. And I really think it's about you shining a light on the things that you truly love about you, and honoring that and keeping that sacred, something that is sacred to you, and trusting that everything is well and all will work out in due time. But you don't need to force anything. You don't need to go out of bounds. You don't need to do something that is against who you are. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to crawl across glass, doing a million Hail Marys in order to be forgiven, or whatever the thing is. Okay, so try to have a little bit of faith and remember what you're worth. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys would like to book a super chat question with me, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis to get your cards read during the live. All righty. Let's go ahead and move on to Capricorn. What's going on, Cappy? Let's go ahead and see what's going on for the rest of June 2025. The Ace of Wands reversed. The Five of Pentacles, Virgo got that. The Chariot reversed. Okay, well, let's see. The Fool. Why are you hesitating? Mm. What's the Four of Cups about? You've lost your passion. You've lost your passion for something, or you think that you have anyway. But really, I just feel like you're kind of stuck in a fart box right now. I don't really think that you've lost your passion. I think that it's right there. I just believe that you've had some disappointments along the way. And so you're in this kind of negative mindset of thinking that you can't start brand new, or you're thinking that, something has to look exactly this way or be exactly this way in order for me to feel passionate about it. Like for instance, right? Let's say that you had a breakup or something and now you're like, "Oh, well, I want to start again, but nobody is like this person, or nobody looks like this person, or nobody fucks like this person, or nobody is this person." Da 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 da, right? So now what you're doing is you are not seeing the opportunities in front of you, or you're comparing everybody to this person, which really isn't fair. And maybe you're just not ready for something. And guess what? That's also equally okay. It's okay that you're not ready for something. But I really think it's about being honest with yourself about that. And when you're ready, I feel like you will know. But right now, you're in this mind frame of you're not seeing all of the beauty in front of you, or you're not seeing what the world has to offer you because you didn't get offered this other thing. And that can really be where we start to sabotage ourselves a lot without always really realizing it. So I want you to look up, right? And I talk about this once in a while on my channel where it was a really great piece. I thought it was such a great piece of art. And it was this video, and you just see this woman on the video, and she's constantly like checking her phone. She constantly has her phone in her hand, her phone in her hand. She's on the train, she's on the bus, she's walking, she has her phone in her hand. Da 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 da. She's waiting on her ex to text her, right? And then she walks off of the bus, and she walks by this man who wanted to say hi to her, and it, like, showed, like, above him, like, the love of her life or something like that, but she, like, missed him because she was too busy looking for this, other person in her phone that was just not showing up. And so I know that's a very dramatic way to explain something, but the 4 of Cups makes me think of that a lot. So, just because it's not in a particular package or whatever that means for you doesn't mean that there is not an equally as great package with better contents in it, or you know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. The 5 of Pentacles with the 7 of Cups reversed and the 3 of Wands reversed. Yeah, it's kind of this feeling of like, I'm not going to lie to you, Capricorn. It's like having a bit of a reality check moment. Now, this can be around your finances. You can be kind of feeling like your finances haven't come together in the way that you had hoped. Maybe there's this energy of feeling like you're in debt a lot, and you kind of got hit with that big ugly stick, and so now you're frustrated. Or maybe it's just that you're feeling abandoned in some way, or you're feeling sad because you're realizing that you have to leave another, or you have to abandon a person, place, or thing in your life that very much frustrates you, that you don't want to leave, or you don't want to have to make that choice, or maybe even the choice is being made for you. But there is a sense of frustration here. But frustration does not equate to failure. It does not equate to failure. The Chariot reversed for your advice with the Judgment and the Hangman. So the Chariot reversed for advice can sometimes talk about when somebody is trying to force something that they shouldn't be forcing, or where somebody is too afraid of something so they don't go after it at all, and then it definitely inevitably ends up being a failure in some way. And with that Judgment there in the upright, this is about an acceptance of a truth that is very hard to swallow. And this can be about, did I try to fit a star shape into a circle? Did I try to, force something that I knew that wouldn't necessarily work? And what does that say about me? Do I need to have a higher perspective on these things and take accountability where maybe I haven't, on how something failed or how something didn't work out? Or it doesn't mean that you were at fault for everything, but I take a big look at my life and the kind of people, for instance, that I have accumulated or I have dated or slept with or whatever the case. And, you know, my intuition has never failed me, but it has been my desperate need for validation and love that has really kept me in this cycle where I knew I was forcing something. And I'm not saying this is about love, okay? Where I knew I was forcing something, okay? Or I was acting from a place of fear. I don't want to let them go, even though they were abusing me, or maybe that we just weren't good together, or whatever it may be, and needing to own that within myself. Needing to be very honest with myself about that and kind of take one on the chin of how I got here. You know the truth. Now you have to act on that truth. So, Capricorn, that is what I have for you. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question with me, then you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis and you can get your cards read during the live. Thanks a lot, Capricorn. What's up, Perfect Dark? How are you? Aquarius. What's up, Enigma? Huh? Oh, I understand that, Tom. All right, Aquarius, let's go ahead and see what you have going for you for the next for the rest the rest of June 2025. Ace of Swords reversed, the Hierophant reversed, and the Five of Cups. Okay, got some rough ones tonight, huh? Let's see that Ace of Swords reversed. Oh, wow. Can you tell me about that Ace of Swords reversed? I really like this, Aquarius. This is very humble. It's very humble. It's very open to learning. Um, this is the kind of person who, you know what it reminds me of? Oh God forgive me, but it was the guy on he wasn't a senator. Oh, I'm so upset I don't remember his name. God forgive me. But it was this guy that was basically like fighting for people's rights, okay? And there was like a record that was like somebody, stayed in house for like 24 hours fighting against like a bill or something like that. And so the record was like 24. Well, this man ended up beating it at like 27 hours. This guy like fought and fought and fought for, people's rights basically. And he wasn't asking for like some big party. He wasn't asking for everyone to kiss his ass. He wasn't like asking for there was just such a humility about the way that he accepted this level of success. And he's like, well, my work's not done. And he's like, time to get back to work. It was kind of like that. Like he got his applause and he got his accolades and he got his record breaking and he's like, all right, back to work. You know what I mean? Like, and it made you that much more endeared to him. And to me, this is kind of similar. Now, I'm not saying that like you're fighting for people's rights but although that would be quite Aquarian, right? Um, I love Melanie Stansberry. She is an Aquarius, but anyway, I digress. Um, it's like you're getting some level of success, but you're not acting like you know everything just because you're getting this applause or this success. You're like, all right, well, there's still more work to do. And that's such a beautiful way to be. I mean, that's such what a way to accept that level of success with such grace. I feel like that's what you're doing in some way. So you're getting some kind of attention. You're just very humble about it. It's very, very sexy. The Hierophant reversed. Wow. So we're going from the Knight to the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. Wow. What's that Hierophant reversed? The Page of Pentacles. Okay. For some of you, you're just straight up getting into a relationship, okay? For some of you, it is that you actually are getting into a commitment or a relationship, but it may be, or maybe you're already in a relationship, but the way that maybe you and this person go about giving to the relationship or learning about the relationship or putting effort into the relationship might be quite different. So it may be that you guys have different maybe spiritual or religious beliefs. So maybe one person wants to get married and the other person is like, yeah, I'm not ever doing that, right? Or maybe it's something totally different, right? Maybe it's something around values, which that can be hard though. Now that can, ma'am, what is your problem? What is wrong with you? Like, actually, what is wrong with you? She just can't stand attention being on anything but herself. I just cannot stand my Leo cat sometimes. But, it can be maybe there's a difference in values in some kind of way. And so it's like we're trying to put effort into the connection. And I even think that something is evolving in that, right? And some kind of connection in your life. But there may be a difference in something that's quite fundamental, but it doesn't mean that there is a lack of love or commitment. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's that you guys are just have a very unconventional relationship. Maybe it's that you and a family member don't necessarily agree on certain things. Maybe it's about you guys have very different views on maybe education or financial structures or finances in general. But it doesn't mean that you can't come together and like make things happen. Do you know what I mean? So it seems like there's something a little unconventional, a little non-traditional, a little different about a connection or a relationship or even a business partnership, but it's no love lost. It feels like there's a lot of um, emotional support coming from both parties, or you're being very emotionally supported, vice versa. So I really like it. Your advice is the Five of Cups, the Seven of Wands reversed, and the Three of Cups reversed. Whoa. Okay. So if I'm being totally honest with you, for some of you, it really is about forgiveness. Okay. Now that can be a little bit touchy because it depends on what the offense was, and I understand. But forgiveness is not about them. It's for yourself. I know people are tired of hearing that, but it really is. And so I think that for some of you, if there's something that's salvageable here, then it may be time to be able to let your guard down and kind of forgive somebody. Maybe it's that you are done fighting with someone and maybe you don't necessarily want to be in contact with them anymore, but you can still forgive and let go because it really is for you. Um maybe mm, mm, okay. I will say this. I see the 6 of wands in your energy, and then I see the 7 of wands reversed here. With great success comes great responsibility, right? And we all know that, okay? A tale told as old as time. And I really want to say that that 6 of wands, while it's all great while it's happening, right? It's all great, and there's cheers and there's parties and there's congratulations this and da, 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 da. The 7 of wands is now where we must maintain that level of success, right? Like a politician, right? Dare I say, right? But like a politician will make a lot of promises, and then sometimes when they get in there, it's like, I don't know what you're talking about, right? Right. Or, you know, and I'm not saying you're going to do that, but all I'm saying is that there is a level of success that you're going to need to uphold or maintain if it's what you want. And there will be naysayers. There will be people that are likely going to try to fight against you, or they're going to try to take, you know, what you have. Maybe that's through gossip, rumors, drama, etc. But it's going to be about the way that you handle yourself. That's really going to keep you in the door. So something to kind of keep in mind, don't do anything that goes against your morals or your integrity. Don't do anything that goes against who you are, because you don't want to end up doing something that you regret. Okay, so it's just something to keep in mind. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to book a super chat question and get your cards read during this live, then you can do so at hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Aqua, and I hope you have a great June. What's going on, Pisces? I hope you guys are doing super awesome. What's up, Infinite? It's nice to see you. What's going on, Infinite? I mean, what's going on, Infinite? This is your personal reading. What's going on, Pisces? I hope that you guys are doing well. Welcome. Let's go ahead and see what June has in store for you. The Three of Swords reversed, the Tower, the Justice reversed. Okay. The Four of Pentacles reversed. Oh, aren't you so cute? Please. This is so cute. Of course, Pisces, you would have this reading. So your ruling planet, Jupiter, although I believe also that Neptune also rules Pisces, but your ruler, Jupiter, is in Cancer, okay? And so I feel like you're going to be feeling better after these squares between Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune all kind of go away. But it, I feel like during this Jupiter and Cancer transit that we're having for the next year, I feel like you're going to have a lot of really great experiences for yourself. And this to me, as a reader, looks like somebody who has really gone through the ringer and is not allowing that to stifle their growth or stop them from being open to love. You may be doing things like spending money on poetry books or creativity, or maybe you are putting your creativity out there in some way, or dare I say, even though you have been shattered time and time again, there may be this energy of you still opening yourself up to love, opening yourself up to taking action on love, still allowing yourself to be vulnerable despite your shitty circumstances that you've had. You're still showing up. And I really feel like that's what matters. And that takes a lot of courage for somebody that has really been through the ringer or been abused or, you know, really got the shit kicked out of them and is still willing to be grateful for the experience and to show up vulnerable. And so I really think that I think that's beautiful, and that's what it looks like you're doing. So the Tower, the Page of Cups reversed, and the Seven of Swords reversed. Whoa, what's that Seven of Swords reversed? The Six of Cups reversed. You may have, or you may find out something that causes you to question love, being vulnerable, you know. And I feel like this is a long time coming with that Tower there. I feel like there's needed to be a change for a very, very long time, and it didn't happen. And now it feels like something is kind of crashing down in a way that, you know, quite frankly feels uncomfortable. And it can be because you confess something. Okay. So for some of you, it can be that you are confessing something, and it can be something about the past, something that was hidden. Now, for others of you, it can be that somebody else drops a bit of a truth bomb on you, and you are still, allowing for forgiveness. Or if you're the one with the truth bomb, you may be requesting forgiveness and you're doing it very authentically. Or it's the other way around. So it really depends. But the best way to say this is it was some kind of immaturity that somebody had, or somebody really needed to grow the fuck up. Somebody may have been harboring a secret, hiding someone else from another person, or there was just a secret. Because the Six of Cups is Sun in Scorpio, it's reversed. So that can be like secrecy and things being hidden and stuff like that. So, but it's interesting because you're still showing up in this very authentic, emotional way. Your advice is the Justice reversed, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. This is about either you needing to make something right, or you're really needing to make a decision that will create more balance in your life, but needing to make it from love. And sometimes love means having to love yourself and walk away. Sometimes love means needing to walk away from somebody else because you're not ready to treat them the way that you feel like you should be treating them, right? Which is a sense of growing up, right? So it depends on you, but it is about doing the noble thing, about making the decision that keeps your integrity intact, making a decision from love and not anger or jealousy or possessiveness or fear or whatever. And I feel like that's what you're going to do. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a super chat question with me, then you can visit hipsy.com/Violetta Alexis. Thanks a lot, Pisces, and take it easy. You're welcome, Alyssa. All right, I really need to use the restroom, so please give me a few minutes. I'm probably gonna grab some tea and stuff like that. So, if you guys have not, God, this freaking chair squeaks all the time. It drives me absolutely mad. I really can't stand it. Okay, let me right here. Okay, and if you guys have not subscribed to my poetry channel, please make sure that you do so. I went ahead and tagged it right there in the chat. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to go grab some tea, and I will be right back. Thank you guys so much for waiting. All right. Oh my god! I forgot I had my thing up. Hold on. Let me now of course I want a sweater. Give me one sec. All right. Cozy. All right, dear. Have you guys behaved while I was gone? I was secretly watching you. Chamomile tea is chef's kiss. So, it's time. All righty. Let's do it. So I answered number 1 off stream, okay? FYI. So number 2, this is for super chatter number 2. Okay, so as far as if there's a chance for you guys to reconnect, let's see. The 8 of Swords reversed, the 4 of Wands reversed. It seems like, quite frankly, a decision has been made, right, with the 8 of Swords being reversed. But the 4 of Wands being reversed can also be where there's a second guessing the decision. You know, a going back over it and rethinking it, wondering. So I feel like with this particular person, there may be an uncertainty, a thinking of like, did I really want this? Is this actually done? And there being a bit of a hesitation about it. So because there's a hesitation, I would say yes, there's a chance, but it's whether or not this person is willing to overcome that hesitation or overcome that level of insecurity. What is best for number 2 to do here? I definitely wouldn't take a passive role on this. I feel like it's really time for you to think outside of the box or do something outside of your comfort zone specifically. This is telling you there's a decision to make. If you don't make one in one way or the other, it's going to be made for you, essentially. So, the 2 of Wands, usually you'll see in traditional Rider Waite, there's a wand behind him, and then there's another wand that he's holding onto, or she, and has the globe in their hands. And it's essentially okay, well, I have this old wand back here that I can revisit. And sometimes we feel that the devil that we know is better than the devil that we don't, right? I'm not calling your person a devil, it's just a saying. Um, or I can go out there and I can uh, discover what is out there in the world. Doesn't necessarily have to be another person. But sometimes when we don't move, we don't allow the energy to shift. Sometimes when we wait for someone to assert themselves, or we wait for somebody to decide or to choose us or to figure it out, and we just wait, truly that waiting is the reason why something is not changing. And sometimes taking initiative is going to be the best change that you're going to find. Now, that Two of Wands is telling you to choose differently, to do something that makes you uncomfortable. Okay. I'm not telling you to go, jump out of a plane without the proper equipment. Okay. I'm not telling you to do that. But there is something that you're needing to do, something that you're needing to decide upon, because there's a whole world kind of waiting out there for you, and you're waiting on someone else. So I understand how hurtful these things can be. I understand how sometimes traumatizing they can be, how sad, how sorrowful, but it's really your choice. It is really your choice. Thank you so much, number two. Number two, it's always good to see you, of course. We have number three. Okay, sure. All right, so let's go ahead and see career first. Okay. So the star, I like the star for the career, because the star can be very indicative of somebody who is following their dreams, has high hopes, has, endless possibilities, and is actually following through with those things. But it doesn't go without its fears with the moon reversed. There may be something that someone reveals to you about your career. There may be something that is revealed to you in regards to what career path to take. So I feel like whatever these fears are that you may have in a particular direction, it feels like they're being alleviated in some way because of your faith in something or in someone. It seems like you're being very supported. Something is being shared with you. And I say that because the star is Aquarius. So this is the water bearer. The water bearer is indicative of somebody who is collecting knowledge and sharing it with others. Maybe that's something that you're needing to do. Maybe somebody else is sharing you some kind of knowledge that is instilling faith in your career and the trajectory of your career. Whatever it is, it does feel like a good reveal. Six of Pentacles, there could be some kind of bonus that you end up getting, or you find a job that gives you more money in some kind of way. The Six of Pentacles is moon in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus. This can be something that is very comfortable, but also something that you have a lot of faith and growth in as well. Damn, six to the seven of pentacles. So I really like this because it does feel like there's an offer, or maybe there's a raise or some kind of bonus, and there's progress because of that offer, that raise, or that bonus. So now it's like maybe you're getting some other kind of level of money, and now you are thinking about investing, right? This is not financial advice. These are just the possibilities. Okay. You're responsible for your own financial decisions. But there may also be two options that you have, and a choice that you're needing to make based around those two options, because that can also be the seven of pentacles. What bears more fruit? Which one bears more fruit? As far as money, the king of pentacles. Okay, so that's very stable. The king of pentacles is very stable. He's taking care of business. He's comfortable. The Eight of Wands, you may end up needing to travel for work, or there may be some kind of meeting or conversation that you have with another person that could somehow increase your finances. If you get like an opportunity to travel for work, or if you get an opportunity to learn for work or have some training for work, or if you get an opportunity to meet with somebody, specifically a masculine energy, I would definitely do it. The Three of Pentacles, if you get an opportunity to collaborate, I would definitely do it. If you get an opportunity to learn under somebody's tutelage or whatever the case, I would do that as well, because I think that it would be really good for you. There may be a little bit of competition in the workplace or in that level of collaboration. It may feel a little competitive, but I feel like you'll be fine. These cards look really, really great. Let's see love. Oh, here, I'll let you see the cards. So love, the Nine of Swords reversed. I need another one. Whoa. What's the Death card? So it seems like you're being freed from some level of anxiety or some kind of worry. Something is changing, and it's going to feel uncomfortable, yes, but it's a very, very much needed change. The way that you've either been going about love or the way that a relationship has been working really hasn't been working. The Eight of Pentacles reverse can talk about when we're showing up and we're showing up and we're showing up and we don't even know what the fuck we're showing up for anymore. Or this can be when we're being overly critical of ourselves, where we're allowing a partner to be very critical of us, or we're being very critical of a partner, or it's just we keep showing up in one way and it's just not working anymore. And so I feel like something is changing. It almost feels like a relief that something is ending, or your mind is changing. Oof. I love this Emperor. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you are a masculine. Okay. So I feel like this is you. This is a huge power up moment for you, that Emperor. I do feel like you're this Emperor. There's a huge power up. There's this taking responsibility, being the person that you always knew that you could be, being the person that you knew that you would be. Maybe you had your doubts sometimes, but that Emperor is the creme de la creme. He is the King of Pentacles. He is the King of Cups. He is the King of Swords. He is the King of Wands. He's all of them. And so there seems to be a maturation that you're going through. And I feel like maybe part of that is because of a power up in your career, potentially, that is making you see things differently and act and accept differently in your one-on-one relationship or the relationships that you're seeking out. All of it looks pretty good. The Lovers reversed and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So this to me looks like either love or money advice. So this is saying when you go to choose your partners, have you checked the fundamentals? Do you have the list, right? It doesn't need to be perfect, but when like for instance, right? There are likely very fundamental things that you would not go along with, right? Like I don't want to maybe you really, don't, maybe you are really for, I don't know, I don't know. See, that's really controversial. I don't want to say that. Let's say that you are very religious. Okay, let's just say. Okay, this is an example. Let's say that you are a full blown Christian. That's it. That you have to be dating somebody that's Christian, right? Like this is your value, right? Maybe it's silly to somebody else, but it's important to you. Okay, so it's asking you when you're choosing these partners, these non-negotiables should stay for the most part non-negotiables, because then what's going to happen are these things that are so important to you on a fundamental level, you're going to end up going back and being like, oh, why did I let this drag on so long? I knew that this wasn't going to be for me, but I did it anyway. It doesn't mean that, people don't deserve love or people don't deserve an opportunity sometimes, but when it comes to like fundamental things, like if being a Christian is very, very important to you, okay, stick to that, right? Now, maybe there are some other things you'd be a little lenient on, right? And it's like, okay, that's fine, but your fundamental things, stick to those things. Thank you so much, number 3. Bye, Enigma. Have a good one, baby. We have number 4. Okay, so to answer your question, as far as the Page of Swords goes, uh, yes. So regardless if it's reversed or upright, it usually means that this person is spying on another. They're collecting information. Now, if the Page of Swords is reversed, it can be a representation of somebody who is sometimes collecting information in order to uh, use it against them in a negative way later. Sometimes it can just be somebody that is spying on another person, assuming a bunch of things that maybe aren't necessarily true and kind of getting in their head about it. The Page of Swords reversed is somebody who's just, you know, within reason. They're just watching somebody. Okay. They're collecting information. Um, let's see. Let's see his actions towards you. I know you didn't ask, but the High Priestess. The World reversed. He's very well aware that there's a level of unfinished business here with that High Priestess and the World reversed. And I even believe that he sees or understands or knowingly in his heart of hearts understands that there's a lot of potential there. Whether or not he acts on that is totally up to him. But the World reversed is, quite frankly, something that is unfinished, something that's kind of hanging midair. Let's see his feelings. 10 of Pentacles. He feels like you don't trust him or there's some kind of disconnect emotionally, but he still sees a future in this with that 10 of Pentacles. I even feel like in some way there's still a level of commitment that he has, but he feels like there's a lack of trust or there's a lack of that emotional companionship or whatever the case may be. Thanks a lot, number 4. It's always nice to see you. We got number 5. Oh, what a pretty picture. Okay, sure. Let's see. Let's see what he thinks of you. Number 5. 2 of Pentacles. This is somebody who feels like you're decisive or, this person feels like you're making a decision or you're trying to make practical decisions. You're kind of keeping the balls in the air. This person does feel like under the current, you may have a little bit of some chaotic energy going on under the surface, whether that's true or not. Let's see what else. Okay, the Magician. So this is for what he thinks of you or how he perceives you. This person feels like you are quite powerful within your own right. Somebody who does not doubt themselves, or even if they do, he can't really understand why you would. The Magician is somebody who has literally everything that they need in order to make a decision, take action, or just has that confidence within themselves. So this is somebody who may feel like you also have a lot of talents, gifts, skills, or abilities. Page of Wands reversed, but they may feel like you doubt yourself sometimes with Strength reversed, or there are some things that maybe you want to say, or maybe you want to reach out, or, maybe you want to DM first, or maybe you want to go on an adventure with this person, or maybe you want to start a project, or whatever it is. But they see you as somebody or think that you have some level of hesitation with whatever it is that you're trying to initiate, and they feel like it's due to a lack of confidence. Once again, there's this strange like doubt that they feel like you have for whatever reason, but I don't think that they understand why you doubt yourself or why they think that you doubt yourself, because they view you as a very powerful person. Somebody who is maybe very good with words or very intelligent or just has a lot of talents, gifts, skills, and abilities in one way or another. But I feel like while there's an intention to do, they feel like you have an intention of something with them, but they feel like you hesitate or you second guess yourself in some way. Thanks a lot. Number 5. We have number 6. Okay. So as far as what are M's, like what is M's true emotional path regarding you? Let's see. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the cards here. Great questions, by the way. Love those questions. Queen of Wands, Nine of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Cups. So as far as this person, they're very attracted to you. That's prevalent. It's there. And there's this desire, I think, even in some way to take the lead. However, it may be wanting to take the lead, not necessarily because that's what they want, but because they feel as though they must prove something. They may feel like they need to be a certain way, or they need to talk a certain way, act a certain way, look a certain way in order to overcompensate for something that they think that they lack. Or there may be this energy of codependence, maybe, but it's not so much about if they have talents or if they are attractive or if they're attracted to you, or whether or not they can take the lead. It's about the why do they feel like they need to? Are they doing something that is authentic to who they are? Or are they going to, like, the best way I can describe this is so I've had issues my whole life, period, right? But I've had issues my entire life, well, where I felt like I needed to impress a man by contorting myself or needing to show up in the way that he wanted me to, or agreeing to certain things, or being a certain way because I thought that's what he wanted. Hello, Venus in the 7th house. Um and thinking that that's what I needed to do, when really it would have worked out so much better, or would have not worked out at all sometimes, thank God, because if I would have just been my authentic self. Does that make sense? So it's not about whether or not she can do something in regards to you. It's about why she's doing it, and is she betraying herself by feeling as though she needs to overcompensate or act in a certain way in order to receive love, the Knight of Cups. So I feel like there are romantic feelings. I think that she's supposed to be vulnerable, but it's not just about being vulnerable with you. It's about her being vulnerable, aka honest with herself. As far as the second question, what role am I meant to play in it right now? Meant to and should. Well, let's see. Wheel of Fortune. So this is about you letting go of control. The Wheel of Fortune is when we understand that sometimes the best things come from just letting go of the wheel and trying not to steer it in one way or another, and just seeing what we can receive and what we can offer simply by showing up. And so I feel like this is not the time for you to try to force something or shift something in the way that you see fit. I'm not saying you can't take the lead down the road or even take the lead now, but you can still take the lead and not try to control something, or uh make it fit into a certain way. I'm not saying that you're doing that, but the Wheel of Fortune is just essentially about letting go and letting things just kind of roll how they're supposed to. The Five of Pentacles reversed and the Seven of Wands. So this is about also making yourself available Five of Pentacles reversed, the Wheel of Fortune, you know, not abandoning the connection because there's a fear, or a fear of inadequacy, or a fear of abandonment. You know, this is not about getting defensive or getting into an ego battle with this person. If anything, this is more so just about you being receptive to the information, because I feel like whether you realize it or not, you're likely a mentor for this person or a very huge teacher for this individual. Now, does that mean that teacher or mentor is on your resume? No, not necessarily. Maybe it is, but I do believe that mentors and teachers of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, and genders come into our lives to teach us something. And whether she realizes it or not, whether you realize it or not, you are a teacher for her just by simply being you. So I feel like this is about you guys both honoring your own authenticity and allowing things to fall as they may. As far as the energy or mindset that you should embody, um, no nonsense is what I want to say. Like with this 8 of cups, if this is the energy that you should embody, or the mindset that you should embody, I think that you should learn boundaries. This is Saturn in Pisces. This is not about where we don't see where one begins and the other ends, or we lose ourselves in someone. This is when something is funny, or there's, you know, excuse my French, bullshit or funny business going on, to simply walk and not be afraid to do that. Now, I know that sounds harsh, even if it's just walking away from a situation where maybe you feel like she's not being honest, or maybe you're not. You know, it's about cutting the bullshit and giving yourself a reality check, whether that's about her or yourself. This is not about ego. This is Saturn and Pisces. This is quite the opposite of anything to do with ego in any capacity. Wow, the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So something that I want to say, number 6. If this is somebody who tends to project onto you, or is somebody who, the Queen of Pentacles reversed is quite insecure, and she can be very overly emotional to the point where she's very mean. Okay. And I'm not saying that this is your person, but if this is somebody who ends up becoming this way, or somebody who takes things out on you at any point, or maybe you do this, it that's when we need to walk away, or that's when we need to take a walk and be very honest with ourselves about why that is. Justice reverse. This is about all things being equal, making right, healthy, balanced decisions that are based around integrity and our fundamental values. So this is a no fluff, a no BS, a no pansy ass decision making around the fluff and the bullshit and the crap and the illusions and the rose colored glasses. This is about being very honest and being very real in regards to what we want in a commitment, and how that is serving us, but not just how it's serving us, about how we can serve another. And when we focus more about on serving another, then we essentially serve ourselves. Your advice, wow, the Queen of Wands again. So what I want to say, you know, if I really want you to be honest with yourself about your morals and your values. And if you can build something from this based on those fundamental values, you know, do our values align? Is this person moral? Are you, you know, and not just allowing things to be brushed under the rug or to slide past because there's a mutual attraction. So, like, I have been in relationships where was willing to see past a lot of things that I knew was not like I could never ever really build something on that, but I love them, or like they were hot, or and I'm not saying that's what you would do, but it's just basically saying not to do those things. Okay. Thank you so much, number 6. I really do hope that that helped. Aw, Bryant, that's so nice. Thank you so much, number 6. Best of luck, of course. Alrighty. We have number 7. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I hope you're okay. All right, let's see. 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Knight of Wands reversed. The Judgment. Tell me about the Judgment. The 9 of Swords reversed. One more. King of Cups. Okay. What's that Knight of Wands reversed? The 9 of Wands. So I'm just going to show you. Okay. So let me pull this right here in the middle. Okay, so we have the 3 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands reversed, and we have the Judgment, right? Without the clarifications. That's what we have. So immediately when I see this, I see 2 people trying to get along, trying to get on the same page, trying to get along. And in some cases, it seems to be going smoothly. The Knight of Wands reversed makes me feel like this is him, where there may be, yes, we're trying to get along, we're co-parenting, we're doing what we need to do, but the Knight of Wands reversed can represent somebody who is a bit immature, somebody who is a bit inconsistent. And so while we're trying to get along and we are trying to co-parent in these things, it can feel like you're almost parenting him. Okay. Um but I feel like you guys end up getting on the same page about a lot of things because you likely implement a boundary. This person can seemingly be attempting to fight a losing battle. This is kind of the type of person who tries to argue and doesn't really know their ass from their armpit, right? But that judgment is there. So it tells me that this is somebody who may be attempting to take accountability in one way or another, attempting to be more mature. There may be some things within the next, what was the time frame you asked for the rest of the month, where this person may end up going into therapy, getting help with their mental health in some way, being honest about their mental health, being more mature about their mental health, or maybe relaying some information to you about certain things that they were worried about, nervous about, insecure about. So I do like that. Um, if you're putting up a boundary with this person, I would say that it's going to do them more good than it will harm. And I want to say as well, it doesn't mean that you can't be, good at co-parenting. It doesn't mean that you can't be amicable. It doesn't mean that you can be nice and friendly, or whatever the case. But there's also this energy of you needing to stand your ground on things. And I feel like it may make this person a little, eh, almost want to throw not a tantrum, but a bit of a fit, or they're trying to, get your attention in ways that may be a little silly or immature. But stand your ground with things, because I feel like that's likely going to help you get your best result. So it feels like there's some accountability here. Your advice is the 9 of Pentacles reversed and the 10 of Cups. So this is about not overcompensating in a way just because maybe you want a relationship with this person. This is telling you not to give up your independence just to be able to get along, or to do something against yourself to be able to get along. Sometimes the boundaries are needed. Sometimes standing our ground is needed, as opposed to folding all the time or always giving in to somebody's whims or tantrums or whatever. Okay. So I really want to say you don't need to prove anything. You just need to show up as the best parent as you can. And that's it. And you need to stand your ground with things. Okay. Uh, Thank you so much, number 7. Have a good one. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to have to put up over here. Oh, thank you, Jen. I love you right back. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just messed up my freaking thing. Okay, we have number 8. Number 8. Okay, let's see how this person sees you. We have the 4 of Cups reversed. Okay. Please don't tell me. Oh my God, is it really going to do this right now? Come on, man. Okay. Hopefully it's not going to. Oh no, it's buffering. Don't do this to me right now. I hit that stupid button and it just went to shit. Oh no. Oh God. All right, I think we're glitching. All right, I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. Okay, now I'm getting hot now. Of course. Hold on. All right. I'm sweating. All right, so are we okay? All right, I think we're okay now. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, number 8. How does PL see me? The 4 of Cups reversed with the moon. Okay. The 2 of Pentacles reversed. Well, I mean, this is somebody who feels like there are a lot of disappointments that you're kind of harboring in some way. They may feel like there are certain disappointments that you have had, or rejections, or just a feeling of just a string and stray of disappointments in your life or within this relationship that they may feel like you're suppressing, or you don't want to talk about it, or maybe there are some emotional things that you're just like, well, I'm just going to drop it. They may feel like you swallow your words sometimes in order to maybe keep the peace, or you're just going to drop it, or you're just going to suppress it. And this can be somebody who feels like under the surface, there's a little bit of chaos, or under the surface, there's some emotional confusion, and they could feel like you are kind of losing your patience in some way because of it. Or maybe they feel like you're not sure whether or not you're wasting your time in a certain financial endeavor or in this. Whatever the case is, it seems like they feel there's a lot of things that you're keeping from them, not necessarily in like a cryptic or deceitful way, but in a way where maybe you don't really want to, stir the pot, or you don't want to bother somebody with it. So, and they feel like it comes from a place of fear, and of course it doesn't have to be, this dramatic, but there is that kind of suppression of some sort. They may feel as well like you just kind of deal with things on your own sometimes. Um, so, and I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just how they see it. Thank you so much, number 8. I appreciate it. All right. We have numero 9. What's going on, number 9? It's nice to see you as always. Let's see. Okay. So, what I can do is tell you how um it will be from your perspective in regards to what he's doing. So, I'm going to pull cards for what he will be doing once he does come back. Um and you can make a judgment based on that, but this will be from your perspective, okay? Well, let's just see the truth of how he will be in the connection. So we have the Knight of Swords, the Two of Cups, okay. The Page of Wands. So let me explain, right? So the Knight of Swords is not a bad card. It can be somebody who is a little impulsive. It can be somebody who is trying to figure it out, trying to find out, taking action to ask questions about what? The Two of Cups, about love, about connection, about connecting with you specifically. And there's an open mindedness here. Or this person may have two minds about them, where there's a confusion and maybe a certainty or whatever it may be. And there is love here. But if we're reading left from right, we're going from a knight to a page, which tells me that, so in the court cards, right, we go page, knight, and then king and queen. Okay. So the page is like kind of the little guy, right? It's like, we're not sure what we're doing yet, right? There's a bit of a lack of maturity. And then, although it's potent, but there's a lack of maturity. And then there's the Knight of Swords, which is like, I'm taking action to become the king or the queen, right? Now with this particular spread, maybe it's not that he's necessarily going backwards or, uh, what is the right word? What is the word? What is the word? We're not like having a case of Benjamin Button here, right? But it can be where he keeps an open mind enough, asking you questions about the connection and about love, and maybe needing to recalibrate his approach, right? Because we're going from the Knight of Swords where we're impulsive and maybe we're a little scattered, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're going to the Page of Wands. This is a little bit more about passion and excitement and being inspired and finding your sense of confidence through creation or whatever it may be. So maybe it's him trying to reconfigure his approach in love. So, whether or not you feel like that's better or worse, from my perspective, I don't know him, but it doesn't look bad. It just looks like somebody who's trying to figure it out. Regressing. Thank you, Lori. That's it. Regressing. Ah, damn it. Yes, that was it. What Lori said. I meant to say regressing. Yes, thank you. Um so what you're being guided to do when this person returns, the 4 of Swords, The Eight of Pentacles reversed. The Page of Swords. I pulled you 2 cards for advice. The first hint of manipulation, messing around, whatever, it's got to go. Okay. You're being called to approach from a healed place. I don't want to say indifferent, but certainly detached. And the reason being is because of the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Here, I'll show you the cards. The reason being that you're needing to show up that way is because of this card. So the Eight of Pentacles reversed can show up when it's same shit, different day. And until someone has mastered something, you know, or until something has changed, then we can approach it with a more open mind. And if that is the case, then I suggest that you do open, you know, open your mind, or keep an open mind with curiosity. It's more about receiving information and just observing than it is, oh God, you know, it's the love of my life and we're going to escape to the Bahamas and we're gonna, you know, whatever, right? Don't get caught in that whim. So it's asking you to show up from a place of detachment, right? It's kind of like when you have to love somebody from afar. And the only thing that you really need to do is take in everything that you're seeing. Okay. And when it comes to the heart, I feel like the heart hears all but sees very little, you know? And so take in the information, only a little bit of what you hear and everything that you see. And the first hint of deception, playing games, manipulative tactics, funny business, it's got to go. You have to implement that boundary. That's it. So, you know, the Page of Wands, for him showing up the way that he is and asking you to show up as the Page of Swords, is very telling to me. Okay. Um, I feel like it will be difficult for him to meet you at his level. I feel like it will be easy for, I don't want to say easy, easier for you to meet him at his level as opposed to him meet you at your level. Because you have been here at some point, right? You've been here at some point in your life. I'm not saying in the exact same way, but at a similar level, right? Somewhere at some point. And so it's almost like when you are trying to explain something to a child, right? Not saying that this person is a child or anything like that, obviously, but it's kind of like when you're trying to explain something to a child. Okay. So basically, what I want to say is keep your expectations at an even keel. Okay. Don't get so enamored in the love and get swept away. Just take in what you see. That's it. Just take in what you see, and you're going to have to make your judgment from there. I hope you don't think I'm calling your person a child. Okay. But it's just like at a certain maturity level, is all I'm saying. Thanks a lot, number 9. I hope that helped a little. All right, let's see. We have, oh, you're so pretty. Number 10. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for something. 1 second. Sorry. Hold on. Oh, come on. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, number 10. All right, let me just read this. Oh, God, breakups are so hard. I'm sorry. Okay, let me see. Let's see what he wants to do in regards to this. I feel like the Empress in reverse. Is that Empress in reverse him? No, so that's you. The Empress in reverse is somebody who essentially chases another. And the Empress reversed is well, the Empress is the feminine, and I would imagine you're the feminine. Because I asked if it was him, and it sure as shit ain't him. So I'm assuming that this Empress in reversed is you to him. The Empress in reversed, if this is what he wants with the Ten of Wands, whatever the responsibility is, whatever the cross to bear, whatever the burden, he wants you to do that. He may believe that there are some insecurities or some self-worth or self-value issues that you may have, or that he believes that you have, that he may feel like are a burden in some way. Okay. It may not be your truth, but it may be his. Okay. But I feel like he would want you to take on the burden or the responsibility of approach. So, what does he actually want with this person? The Emperor. What are his actions towards her within the next 2 months? The Six of Wands reversed. So for somebody to want this, okay, so I got the Empress reverse, the Ten of Wands, but then the Emperor. So there's the masculine. It's almost as if he wants you to take on some level of responsibility that may be a bit difficult while he still remains in control or has some level of authority. I feel like he still wants this in some way, but once again, I do believe that he either A, believes that some kind of self-worth or self-value issues that you may have may be a burden, yet he still wants this, but he maybe feel like that is the thing that's keeping you guys from one another, or it's that he wants you to be the one to take initiative. I asked what, just be careful, because I don't like the Empress reversed, because if that's what he wants, that means he kind of wants you. Now, this is very dramatic. Okay. So, take it down a notch right after I say it. But it's like somebody who would want you to fall over yourself in order to get back in their graces, or to be with them in some way. Now, it can be that he could also want you to take responsibility for some kind of issue that he believes that you have. The Six of Wands reversed for his actions towards you within the next couple of months, it doesn't really tell me much. It does just tells me somebody that isn't really giving this a whole lot of attention physically, isn't necessarily maybe looking for attention. Now, of course, this is just a 4 card read, so I don't know. But the Six of Wands reverse is somebody who's really not usually drawing much attention to the connection, or giving much attention to the connection, really. So, I mean, I'm better than me. But thank you so much, number 10. I'm wishing you the best of luck, obviously. Fingers crossed. Maybe with the new moon in Cancer, that's happening, right? That's coming up. What's up, girl? Number 11. Oh, I love you too, honey. Let me see. What's coming for my life for the rest of the week? All right, let's see. King of Pentacles. Well, you already know why I'm laughing. Okay. What's this? Three of Swords. A little bit of heartache around a King of Pentacles kind of energy. It could be that there's a heartache around somebody not showing up in the way that they should, a lack of commitment in some way, somebody not supporting in the way that they should, specifically a masculine energy. So it just seems like there's some heartache around that. The Devil, what's that? Could be that somebody isn't growing up in the way that you'd like, with that Devil and that Six of Cups reverse. So this can be when there's something keeping us from growing up in the way that we should. Maybe it's you, okay, but it can be anybody in your life. But that Devil can be addictions, fears, our own toxic behaviors, our own red flags that are holding us back from something. And it can be from, quite frankly, growing up, or it can be from taking something at face value, accepting a truth for what it really is, being happy with the gift that it gave you, whatever that may be. There's a gift from everything, even though that's difficult to say, but there is. And so I definitely feel like there's a very strong attachment to a grudge, or somebody has an addiction or something like that, and there's a refusal to maybe give it up, or there's a refusal around even becoming, quite frankly, aware of it. And so they're kind of stuck in the same place, or that maybe that's you. Page of Pentacles, that's good. Page of Pentacles, Four of Wands reversed. If you are looking for a home, if you're looking for a job, you can have some success or some kind of level of opportunity. The Page of Pentacles is very potent, just like the Aces. So it feels like there can be something that you're learning, or it can be something that you're putting effort into, and you may actually receive some kind of opportunity. But the Four of Wands reverse can tell me that there's an insecurity or some kind of delay in whatever that thing may be, and it can be of your own accord. So I heard the word distractions as well. The Sun reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed for your advice. So this is kind of telling you that whatever this scenario is, it's just temporary. And as easy as that is for me to say while I'm on the other side of this camera, I assure you that I have lived it. I am living it now. I understand what you specifically are going through, because I have been through very similar situations. And believe me when I say it does get better, but it's when you want it to get better, not before, not any time before. It's when you make the choices that are going to better your life and that you know are going to better your life, making the choices that are going to honor your nervous system and make you feel safe again. But you have to make the decisions to make yourself feel safe. And it's about being confident throughout it. It's about, like, imagine like people who make choices out of fear, or choices out of insecurity, or choices out of like somebody who only sleeps with their husband or their wife because there's a fear that that person's going to cheat on them. What a terrible way to live, right? But it's like somebody who does it because they want to do it, not out of fear, because they feel like this is a worthy person to fuck, right? That's going to bring a different energy to it. And so, like, what are these decisions that you're needing to make that can rewire and rebuild your nervous system from the ground up and kind of work from there? Okay. I love you. Take it easy. I'll text you tomorrow. Ouch. All right, number 12. Okay, let's see what happens if you stay where you're at. Hangman reverse, you're gonna stay where you're at. You know, there's no better description for the hangman reverse than quite literally just staying where you're at. So the hangman reverse can be like when you feel like you maybe hit a block, or there's nothing left to be had. You can feel like you lack perspective. You can feel like superiors or people maybe don't see you for who you are. You may feel like you're just at a kind of dead end a little bit. So it can be where we're hanging in limbo and nothing's really changing. As far as if you'll find something in the near future, what about for the rest of this year in regards to work? The Seven of Swords reversed. I need one more for that. The World reversed. I feel like it's possible you may decide to do something that isn't necessarily good for everybody else and pleasing everybody else or whatever, but doing something that you individually want. Um, And it can be something that you left on the shelf a while ago, something that you may end up picking back up, or it may be that an old opportunity reveals itself again. So it seems like it's something from the past that may resurface, if that's what you want. Maybe it's like a side gig. Your advice. The High Priestess reverse. So this is about how are you suppressing your own potential? I feel like you can go a lot higher. I feel like things can get a lot better and bigger for you, but it's about listening to your gut instincts on things and going with that. Like, I feel like a lot of the answers if you would listen to self. Thanks a lot, darling. Thank you, number 12. Number 13 is the same as number 12. All right, awesome. Let's see. Okay. Let's see the thoughts. Okay. It's not bad. Four of Pentacles reversed and the Fool. I mean, this person feels like you're very ready for whatever it is that you're trying to jump into. So whether you want to be, married or in a relationship, or whether you want to go on a vacation with this person, like this person feels like you're ready to take chances, baby. You're ready to put the past behind you. You're ready to go for it. You're ready to leap in. You're ready to trust fall. Like this is somebody who feels like you're ready to take some chances. You know what I mean? Whether that's true or not. This person's feelings? Okay. This person's feelings with the Chariot and then the Six of Pentacles reversed. This may be somebody who, feels a victory with you, or wants to pursue this, feels emotionally geared towards taking initiative towards this. But that Six of Pentacles reverse makes me wonder if they're questioning themselves, if they have enough to offer, or if they feel like something is not equal, or maybe they're not sure that they have it to give in some way, but there's still that drive. There's still that feeling of want. This person may be having money issues, maybe. Okay, that could be the hesitation or the insecurity, but I feel like they'd still go for it, or they're still going to try to pursue it regardless. Thanks a lot, number 13. Okay, number 14. Sure, let's see. Um, I just want to get a feel for how this person feels for you before I do anything. Oh, the Lovers. Wow. Well, I don't know if you guys have been having any problems, but this is this person's feelings for you with that Lovers and that King of Wands. This is somebody who is very sexually attracted to you. I feel like it's more than that, though, especially with that Lovers there. So with the Lovers being here, the Lovers can be a representation of somebody who feels like it's more than skin deep. That this is one of those connections that you get maybe once, twice in a lifetime, something like that. And it's because this is somebody who feels like they can either build a foundation with you, they have a foundation, or there's something that is fundamentally important to them that they feel like you have those qualities. Does that make sense? So something that is very important for them, something that is very foundational, they feel like you have those qualities that they are attracted to. So as far as your guidance with this person, Five of Swords, Ten of Pentacles in reverse makes me feel like you really need to stand your ground on things. When it comes to a commitment with this person, or when it comes to pursuing this individual, or whatever the case may be, mind games are out. No mind games, no manipulation. If that's something that you're dealing with, don't deal with it. I think you need to make yourself very clear that you're not interested in playing mind games or any runarounds or anything like that. I feel like the person that claims that they want to commit to you, or the person that is able to get access to you in that way, should be standing up or stepping up in the way that you require. Three of Wands reversed and the Five of Cups reversed for your guidance. I really want to say don't lose your cool on things. I feel like, if anything, if this person is frustrating you, or if they're not showing up in the way that you expect, then I think it's really about taking something at face value and not necessarily accepting it in your life, but accepting that this is who they are. And so when they show you who they are, believe them, kind of thing. But it doesn't mean that you need to accept that kind of behavior in your life if that is something that you've been dealing with. The Three of Wands in reverse can also talk about being frustrated because expectations are not being met, or waiting around for the perfect time to apologize or to forgive or to let go, or whatever the case is. The longer that you wait, the harder it will be, whatever that means for you specifically. I'm going to pull you two more advice cards. The Star and the Hermit reversed. It's not really about believing in the relationship, but it's about believing that you are who you say you are. And so what do I mean by that? Like, if I'm telling you to take this person for them, like to take them at face value, then I would tell you to do the same with yourself. So if you're somebody who, for instance, doesn't like it when, somebody, I don't know, interrupts them all the time, okay, and you know that that is not something that you appreciate, it's something that you find incredibly disrespectful. You don't like, okay, so you know that about yourself, okay, you know this is not, you don't interrupt people, you don't like it when other people interrupt you. This is something that you need to own, something you need to share, and something that should be a non-negotiable. And so it's about sharing those boundaries, asserting those boundaries, and being who you say you are. And the only place that's going to come from is, it's going to come from a healed place. And sometimes that place is only going to be created when you create the space for yourself to be alone and to do the soul searching that you need in order to heal these parts about yourself. Thank you so much, number 14. All right, number 15. Let's see. What is he planning to do here in regards to her? The Ace of Pentacles reversed. The Seven of Cups reversed. All right, give me a couple more. The Strength. The Temperance reversed. So let me put it like this. Here, I'm gonna show you these number 15. So what we have here, right? What's up, Kenneth? So what we have here is the Ace of Pentacles reversed with the Seven of Cups reversed, which tells me that this is somebody who kind of feels like this is a bit of a missed opportunity. They may feel like you saw through them, they saw through you, you guys got a bit of a reality check, okay? And now things are kind of like, wah, wah, okay? This may be somebody who's like, I don't really think I'm willing to do the work for this anymore, or something like that. The Strength, however, tells me that there's still passion here. But because they're not content with how things didn't work out or how things ended, I feel like they're more so going to hold back more than anything, because they feel like they either can't create a peaceful environment with you, they can't be peaceful with you. There's just something that they cannot create, or they may feel as though they don't have the patience, Temperance reversed. So I still feel like there's love or passion. There's still a part of their heart that you kind of own or claim in some way. But ultimately it's a bit they're holding back, if anything. Thank you so much, number 15. Number 16. Okay, let's see this person's feelings for you right now in this very moment. The Knight of Pentacles. I still think that this person wants to take action towards you in some way, but it's in a very slow, methodical way. Why? The Ace of Swords. There's something that they really want to talk to you about, or something that they may have realized during a separation. What is it? The Ace of Wands. Okay. There's still an attraction here. There's still essentially a desire. Um, this is somebody that still is quite inspired to talk to you or to take action towards you. It feels like they want to do something the right way, though. They don't want to act on impulse and fuck it up. What's their intentions here? To change? Well, you're a Scorpio, so I think that's just you. The death card is Scorpio. I feel like their intent may be you. Why don't we see if what would have happened if you would have stayed? Three of Cups reversed. The Tower reversed. Nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed. I feel like you guys would have still been on the fritz, been on the outs. There may have been a third party, gossip, rumors, drama, something like that. But there's seems to be a refusal to change if you would have stayed. Is anything going to change now? How is it going to be now, if there is anything, in regards to him? So because you left, this is what will happen or will change, okay? The Two of Wands tells me that there's a decision that he realizes that he has to make, but he may not be sure how to go about it. He may not be sure how to communicate. There may be blocked communication, or he may feel like he's not seeing things clearly. He may, be afraid to come out of his comfort zone and be super vulnerable. Whatever the case is, the Two of Wands is you need to do something different. You need to come out of your comfort zone. And I think that there's an awareness of that, but there's also a discomfort around it as well. Eight of Wands reversed. And it may be this energy of him attempting to force something through, um, you know, maybe a sweet flirtation, sweet feelings, I do feel like there's a level here that he may be completing. And that's really going to depend on his personal mentality, but he's showing up as a page, or he may end up showing up as a page, which is like, it's loving and it's sweet. And I think he's trying to plan to communicate with you. But that Eight of Wands reverse tells me that there is a, he needs to slow down on his thinking. And I think that's why that the Knight of Pentacles is here. I feel like the two aces are like ready to go, ready to take action, right? But the Eight of Wands reverse is like, when you need to slow the fuck down. You know what I mean? And so there can be a little bit of that kind of going on here. Um, but you may end up getting an offer, if I'm going to be honest. And if she gets the offer, what should she do? Don't brush anything under the rug. If you've been dealing with bullshit, then bullshit needs to be addressed, is basically what it is. Don't like just swallow things to keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? All righty. I'm going to go. I love you so much. I hope that you guys have a wonderful night. Kenneth, I love you. Lori, I love you. Complexity, I love you. And to all of my dragons, all of my friends, I love you guys so much. Please have a great rest of your evening, and hopefully I will talk to you guys soon. I love you so much. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.